right, aloha and good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us here. HPD has launched our Safer Roads Together campaign. It's our call to action for everyone on Oahu's roads. This campaign is about partnership and kuleana, the shared responsibility of drivers, passengers, cyclists, and pedestrians to look out for one another, especially our keiki, their families, and as they return to school. HPD is stepping up its visibility and engagement around schools and high traffic area. Our officers will be present not just to enforce laws, but also to educate, remind, and partner with our communities to create safer habits, whether that means slowing down, putting your phone away, or stopping at crosswalks. Too many lives have been lost on our roads this year. We're at 55 fatalities at this time compared to the entire last year of 54. Every driver, rider, and pedestrian can make a difference with small everyday choices. Those numbers that I gave earlier, those aren't just numbers, those are people. Those are our neighbors, our family, our friends. Safer Roads Together reminds us that when we choose patience, awareness, and aloha, we save lives. And we help ensure every child gets to and from school safely. Thank you. Next, I'll turn it over to Assistant Chief Chalk from our Emergency Medical Services.
Thank you, Chief Vanic. Aloha. Our message from Honolulu EMS is simple. Slow down and put the distractions down. Our paramedics and EMTs have seen an increased number in motor vehicle collisions, pedestrian accidents, e-bike and bicycle incidents. We need everybody to do their part. As Chief Vanic said, it's everybody's kuleana to come together for a safer environment for all of our people that use the roadways. Parents, we need you to talk to your children about bicycle safety, wearing helmets. A helmet can save somebody's life one day. Again, this is everybody's kuleana. We need to come together as a family. It's a kako thing for safety. Thank you.
Aloha kako, John Nouchi, Deputy Director, Department of Transportation Services. We're here today because we really are facing a crisis on our roads as we transition into the busy back-to-school season. You know, and really this isn't about traffic or infrastructure or delay. It's about a devastating and unacceptable fact that we are on track to double our roadway fatalities this year compared to last. And that's just too many lives lost so far this year. And it is time to stop this. This death trend is not simply a statistic. It's an outright tragedy. Every single victim is a life cut short, an ohana fractured, and a community left to mourn forever. And we can tolerate this no longer. The most important safety feature on any road is not a flashing light or a crosswalk or a guardrail or what have you. It's you, it's me, it's all of us. As everyone has said before, it's kako, it's all of us. It's our shared commitment to being present, unimpaired, and attentive while on our streets, roads, and highways. The responsibility to reverse these horrific losses lies with every person on this island. If you're a driver, your undivided attention absolutely is a matter of life or death. Put your phone away, not just down. Slow your roll, pump your brakes for safety, not for revenge. Look out for everyone, pedestrians, cyclists, everyone who are far more vulnerable than you are in your vehicle. And if you're a pedestrian, if you're walking, be attentive and in the moment. Make eye contact with drivers. While that might seem real confrontational when you talk local style, it's really not if that eye contact can save your life. Use crosswalks responsibly, but remember, they're just paint on the road and they're not a magic force field. Your life is not worth the risk. And if you're a cyclist, ride predictably, follow traffic laws, and make yourself as visible as possible. And you know what? Like our partner said, cut out the wheelies and the tricks on the roadway. You know what? Really, nobody likes that. We have to stop this road violence. We all must lead by example. Our roadways are shared spaces, and sharing requires responsibility, respect, and above all, aloha. And aloha, that's in the form of regard and attention. Throw more shakas when people show aloha. So let's come together to change this story. Let's act now to make our streets safe for every single one of us. As a community, we deserve safety and owe it to each and every person on the road. Your auntie, your uncle, your mother, your father, your sister, your brother, your second cousin, twice removed, whoever it is, your friends. Piliana yakako apau. This is for everyone. So mahalo, malama kekahi, kekahi. Let's take care of one another out there on our roadways. Thank you. And I will like to call up Mayor Blangiardi.
Thank you, John. Well, kind of hard to add to what Chief Vanic and Corey and John have just said, but I'll tell you this. When last year ended and we had 54 fatalities, we sat there and said, how can this be? That's more than one a week. You know, we've just got to do something about that. And we've tried to do what we can, but here we are. We're not even through with the 8th month of the year, and we've already surpassed that number. And as you heard from everybody, you know, we're going into a very busy time of the year. I'm not going to project what that's going to result as far as total number of deaths this year, but we have to reverse this pattern. Every car going behind me is capable of killing somebody. All those innocent people driving those cars don't want to do that. Their lives will be changed forever. And the people who died, those families will be changed forever. The responsibility of getting behind the wheel of a car, or if you're out there as a pedestrian, to keep yourself safe, could be no greater, because it could result in your death. So this is as serious as it gets. All we can ask from everybody, be mindful of your responsibility. Driving a car is a big responsibility. Don't do it intoxicated. Don't do it while you're high. Pay attention when you're driving, and don't kill anybody and ruin your own life. Please, we are saying please. We can't legislate this. There's no rule or so many cops on the road or anything like that that's going to prevent that. People have got to own the responsibility of driving their car. So we're going to do everything we can to mitigate that. We don't want one more person to die the rest of the year. I would pray that 55 is the number, but we already know that's not the number. So we're already way beyond where we want to be. We're asking the community, that's the purpose of today. Help us, help you. Thank you.
As we head into the school year, that's why we're all here for.
Right.
What are your thoughts on that, and what is your message?
That's 30 people too many. Our message is we don't want to be losing our people this way, you know. And it's a cry out for responsibility. It's trying to create awareness of just how bad this is. As I said earlier, when last year ended, it was 54. We sat there and thought that's one a week dying out there. That can't happen, and we're already past that number. So everybody's got to help in this. That's the message. Everybody. They need to be aware of what the numbers are. They need to understand just how dangerous this is. This is not something we're being casual about. This is as serious as it gets. I want to say it again because I know families that have lost people in vehicular accidents. Lives are changed. They're changed forever. It's so disruptive. And it happens from people who don't have any evil intentions. Okay? It's somebody that's innocent who's driving a car tonight through some neglect or some situation. That could happen and somebody dies. It could happen to anybody that's out there. Understand that. Own that. Be as careful as you can be. Okay? That's the message, Russ. Go on.
Earlier this year, you signed Bill 52 into law about the e-bike safety and all
Yes.
rules. And yet, just last week, there was another death of a youngster, 14 years old, killed at the beach. In your eyes, one, are those rules enough? Or two, where along the system needs fixing?
You know, that's a good question. Are those rules enough? As I said earlier, you really can't legislate this stuff. We put those rules in for everybody's well-being, but at the end of the day, if people think they can break the rules or they're going to do something, or they're just getting careless, I mean, that's what I said. People don't like it when you say from government to the public, It's about personal responsibility. I've lived through that enough, I know. But it is about personal responsibility. And actually, a 14-year-old driving an e-bike that can go really fast shouldn't be happening, okay? So I ask for parental control. I ask for parents to understand their responsibility in this equation too, and don't let your kid get on something that could kill them very easily, as we found out, okay? So we can pass all the rules in the world. Believe me, we're still not going to be able to prevent that if people choose to be careless and reckless, okay? Anybody else?
Whether it be e-bikes, cell phones, lack of awareness, is there one particular that stands out that is the biggest thorn in everybody's side right now?
You know, Chief, I don't know. Do you have a statistic or Corey on that? What you think is the leading cause? Let me just.
So statistically this year what we found is that people not wearing safety helmets, people not wearing their seat belts when they get into motor vehicle collisions, that's what's causing the most number of deaths statistically so far this year.
I know that you folks have had this push just in the last week. You've named it. What exactly is being done in that program that you folks have put out?
Thank you for that question. So what the public will see is increased police presence, increase what we call police, not enforcement, but engagements. We'll be stopping people for individuals going above the speed limit. We won't necessarily be giving them a citation, although you can get a citation for going over the speed limit. But we do want to make sure that we're educating the public on what the speed limits are, what traffic rules and regulations are. For example, crossing over a solid line, not allowed to do that. That can cause a major traffic collision. Also for pedestrians, you may have the right of way, but when you're challenging a car, you're not going to win. I guarantee you that. So take a few extra seconds. Look, make eye contact with the driver, and you may get to your destination a few seconds later, but you know that's the price of safety. We really do want to educate the public that it's everyone's responsibility. So what are we doing? You're going to see a lot of officers out there, most likely stopping people if they're not following the law.
At what point is educating the public no longer enough? I mean, you folks have said we're already past the point of
Right.
death, so why not just hit them with the citation if
So-
you know the speeding already?
So keep in mind, we're going to be doing engagements, which could and may result in citations. So just because you're getting stopped, it may not be an educational, or the education may be a citation. So we're not out there just to cite everybody, but if you get pulled over, please know that you could receive a citation.
Have things like speed cameras, speed humps, now the speed cameras are now red light cameras that are in their warning phase. Have those made any impact in your opinion?
You know, in certain areas where there are the speed humps, we have seen statistically that has slowed people down. I don't know, maybe John, do you want to comment on how or Roger, do you guys have any statistics on that?
You know, it's really appropriate that we talk about things like speed humps and other things, traffic circles and things as part of this discussion. When we talk about doing things that force people to slow down, that make slowing down not an option. You know, part of our campaign that we did for Safer Streets posed the question, slow down or speed hump, your choice. And we've seen the effects of that speed humps have had on some of our roadways and some of our roadways that experience the highest amounts of speeding. There has been a factual statistical reduction in speed on that roadway. And if we can get people to slow down, we lower the incidence and the possibility of fatalities on our roadway. That is the 100% truth. If everyone were to slow down, we would have a lot less fatalities on our road.
Yeah, but even though we've put in more speed bumps than you can possibly imagine, we still have more deaths this year than we ever anticipated. So I go back again to the responsibility. You know, when an accident happens, and I'm not here to point fingers or blame anybody, it could be the pedestrian's fault, it could be the young kid on an e-bike, it could be the driver. Oftentimes the person behind the wheel of a car is ultimately, gets looked at very hard on these things. So I'm going to just say it again. Our message today is about responsibility, especially if you're driving a vehicle. I just wanted to come back up to the mic to say thank you for being here today. I'm talking to you guys because you are a conduit to the public. We really appreciate you being here. So those people who make story decisions back where you have to go and report, please help us get this story out there. Help people become aware of just what we're dealing with so that we can save lives. That's what's on the line here. We're talking about saving lives. I can't think of anything more important in our storytelling in this community at this point in time is to not have any more needless deaths. Okay? So thank you. Appreciate you being here today.
Mayor, I have one more question.
Go ahead, Dylan.
He's available.
Yeah, it's going to cost you $10.
Okay, I'll pay up. You take Venmo.
Come on up.
Chief, I want to ask you, you mentioned you'll be increasing that in education, engagement, and enforcement. Can you talk about what specific areas are you targeting? Elementary schools, high schools, what areas of the island?
Sure. Thank you for asking that. We will be doing that island-wide in all areas. And remember, again, it's all of our kuleana, so together our roads are safer. And remember, drive with aloha.
Chief, is this, I know this is just for Honolulu County, but do you know if the other counties are going to be following suit along with Oʻahu?
You know, our campaign is Honolulu specific, but of course, we encourage anyone listening to drive safely. It's everyone's responsibility to drive with aloha.